This is John Levison. We're here at Super League Malta. I'm very pleased to be joined by the CEO of Super League. This is Michael Dulst. Michael, you've certainly got, as hopefully our viewers can see over your right shoulder, a pretty amazing venue here. Just tell us a little bit about Malta and why you're here.
Well, we're obviously here for Super League Triathlon, right? I think Malta is a fantastic destination. Actually, before we got the first time I visited Malta is probably 3 years ago, right? And was already with the intent of looking at an event, right? And I was impressed by the immense historical beauty of Malta. And we were just talking about it. We had a big challenge on finding the right venue in Malta. Malta offers a nice beaches, beautiful ocean, but then obviously beach and Super League doesn't really fit perfectly together. So we were looking for something city-ish, but most of Malta is built as a fort, so very not necessarily accessible for triathlon again, right? So, and I was telling before, it took us 3 days to tour around Malta and to find the right spot. And almost as we gave up, we found this spot, which is incredible. We have a nice hill. Obviously, we swim in a beautiful marina. We have the boats on the background, all the historic buildings. Yeah, a very exciting course.
Super League has made quite a splash since its introduction. Hamilton Island, I think we'll all remember that when that was the sort of the debut trial race almost, and then we had a full season last year. Tell us about your views on where Super League is at the moment. Obviously, I think we're still relatively early, maybe in the development phase of where you hope Super League is. So, what are sort of the wins and the bits that you think that you need to resolve to get Super League to where you want it to be?
Yeah, it's still early days, of course, but I think in the 2.5 years we have achieved already a lot. I mean, I think the basics work, right? I mean, the basic is the product, right? Ultimately, our vision has always been to say, okay, here's a sport, triathlon, that is very good for participation. Can we make it also into a very successful spectator sport? And I think with that, obviously, we needed to reinvent the product a little bit, reinvent the races, reinvent the formats a little bit. And I think since Hamilton Island, it has proven that these formats work, right? That these formats make it more interesting. I mean, I've not met a single person who actually came and watched an event and did not tell me, Michael, this is better than I expected. This is better than it looks like on television, right? So we're able to deliver experiences. So that box is ticked. Now, the growth. What does the growth look like? It's taking it to more central places, right? So to expose more people to triathlon, to Super League. That's what the growth looks like. And well, we've set up a new office in London earlier this year, just to start deepening roots in the European market and to get those new venues off the ground. So for us, it's all about growth, getting more people engaged, and that's about bringing the races to them. Right? So
the triathlon calendar is a very, very packed one, and it's a very diverse one. Yeah. In that we have a sort of season-long, a calendar season-long ITU season. We've got Ironman races, there's ETU races, various other bits. Is part of the difficulty trying to establish how and where Super League should fit within that calendar to be able to bring the exposure and the impact that you want it to have?
Of course, that is a challenge, but I think, I mean, I see it, that's a short-term challenge, right? And obviously we have very close conversations with the ITU on making that fit, right? So we're very much aware of that. But okay, my personal vision is on that is, we want the sport to grow, right? So the way I see it is, here is a Super League calendar. We want to keep our calendar nice and tight, not spread it over the whole year. The vision is to keep it nice and tight, very concise, so that from a spectator point of view, they can dial in Super League and they know, well, over the next 2 or 3 months, all the races are done, right? And then that's your Super League season done. But the way what I expect is that athletes will have opportunities, right? I'll race ITU races, I'll race Super League races, and you'll develop different specialized athletes, right? And ultimately, beneficial for the professionalism of the sport, in my opinion, right? Because ultimately you'll have more athletes that can make money, can make a living being a triathlete. So that ultimately makes it a more professional sport, right? So yes, probably in the beginning there's one group of athletes and they kind of start choosing, but I think more athletes will join and athletes will start specializing. You don't really see a long distance. You don't see Jan Frodeno racing ITU anymore, but Jan Frodeno was fantastic at ITU racing. Obviously won Olympic gold, right? But now he's progressed in his career and he's pursuing other goals, right? So I think Super League can be part of that whole realm of what triathlon as a sport has to offer, and then athletes can specialize in what they're good at.
I remember when the Super League was first announced and there was going to be that upcoming race at Hamilton Island. One of the comments that I wrote about it that I was hoping to see, and it actually came to fruition, was that although Super League was effectively like a contracted, closed event, if you like, there was going to be an opportunity for athletes to go and qualify and race in there. We've seen that particularly the last year, and what I thought was very impressive was the standard of some of those athletes that have gone to Poznan and Penticton to try and qualify. So that must give you a lot of confidence that the athletes want to go there, when we've got athletes that are, in some cases, they're established World Triathlon Series athletes who are going off to qualification races to be a part of this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for us, it was always very, very clear. This is not an invitational, right? Okay, the first event we had to test the format, so there's nothing else you can do about it than just doing it a bit of an invitational. But indeed, it's all about giving opportunities to athletes who want to give it a go, and also helping athletes to develop, right? I think, well, we had Jonas Schomburg, Tyler Mislauchuk, who's have race qualifiers, and now look, even in ITU races, right? They're front pack. But also young junior athletes. I mean, you have Simon Heinzelt, who was a junior who raced in Jersey. He chose not to pick up the choice of doing the finals. Right? And I texted him 2 weeks later on Instagram and I said, mate, you want to give it a crack? You want to really go? Why don't you come to Malta and race, right? And see how you can perform when you're well rested, not after you already had to race the youth and junior racing, but when you're well rested against your heroes, right? So to say. So yeah, Super League is all about giving these opportunities and empowering athletes and helping them become better.
I think one of the other aspects of Super League that you have been willing to do is bring in some innovations. We've had things like that are still there, the short shoot. I think last year we had the super shoot here at Malta. From my perspective, some of those things worked, maybe some of them have not worked, but you've been able to adapt and try those things out and keep the things that work and let go of some that maybe didn't work out as you hoped. Can we expect any more sort of innovations and those sort of out of the box thinking to further enhance the viewing spectators and make it more accessible to, I guess, the non-triathlete fan, which is in a large way who you're trying to appeal to?
I think 100%. I think that is part of our DNA. I mean, I spoke to Javier Gomez Noya and he thinks a little bit gimmicky, for example, but I think this is what Super League is, right? It's slightly different. We're not the same as what the ITU is doing. We're doing things slightly different, which is short shoots, and we have a couple of other innovations in the pipeline that we'll definitely push through, and then we'll continue to optimize them to indeed try to engage the wider audience and make a little bit more for exciting television, an exciting show, right?
Well, good luck with it. I think everybody loves the concept. They love what they're seeing. There's obviously going to be lots of challenges ahead to be able to get it established, but I think we can say, certainly from everybody within the triathlon industry, we all want it to work because we love it. So
we'll make it work.
Yeah. So you continue to do that, and we look forward to following the progress of Super League. So
fantastic.
Michael Dulce, thank you very much for spending some time with TRI247.
Fantastic, John.
Thank you.